Yes.
Yeah? Exciting stuff. What were we just talking about?
Oh, we were talking about Ons and Jack. And Ons
well, okay, so it's a very special episode, folks. Jack is back from Amsterdam with his lovely girlfriend, Uns, who is originally from the Lebanon, but now she is an international lady of mystery.
She's international spy.
And then sometimes
we just want to know what she's spying on.
Sometimes when you're talking to Uns, you feel like saying to her, hello? Can you hear me? Is there anybody there? Can you hear me, Uns? And you were saying you were in court recently. Can you talk about that? And there was a judge who was looking at you with very intense eyes.
Yes. Whatever I was saying, he was staring at me, and it was just like, no way I would lie, and no way I was deviating.
One of my creepy neighbours, that when he talks, he goes like this. Hi, how you doing?
You see, that's creepy because
he looks at you from underneath his eyebrows like, how are you? How are you doing? I was fine until I met you, you fucking creep. And he rubs his cat in a really creepy way as well.
Like this.
Yeah, does this.
Oh, he kneels down.
Yeah, he kneels down and basically inserts himself into the cat while rubbing it on the back.
I've seen it.
And the cat is presenting its anus horribilis into his face.
Oh my God, I've seen it. This is most disturbing scenery.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yes.
He's just like the cat is
cat
open.
Fondler.
And he fondles the cat. He's on his knees.
And there's a pedo guy, and that's not him. But there's another guy. People in the neighborhood might know who I'm referring to. I'm not obviously going to name the person, but I have my suspicions. Let's leave it at that. Definitely. I mean, I have good radar around that kind of shit. Okay. But if this was medieval times,
he would be dead.
I think so.
How would you execute in medieval times?
Well, just a sword and the heads off. Like, you remember Medici we watched? And Borgias?
You can get way more creative than just a sword.
Do you know something?
There was some incredible torture techniques.
Oh, no, okay, can we not? Actually, let's not go down that route because there are a couple of people who are just chomping at the bit to find out things to be offended by and to act accordingly.
You can't be offended by historical execution techniques.
Correct, Jack. That is true.
And that's true.
I was having a conversation, right, with a mutual friend, right? I don't know, and we were. I mentioned there's certain things I love about femininity, right? And then this girl that I was talking to, she kind of, as if I'd misstepped or I'd made a big mistake because there's no, I think in her eyes, saying something like making a general statement like feminine traits is not inclusive. This persistence or this, obsession with inclusivity. Look, when people were playing football and you were a kid, but there was always some kid they never picked me. I wasn't fucking included. What about that kid that suffered? What about all the kids all over the fucking world who weren't included in the fucking football team?
Happened to you.
No, but the point is you find the measure of yourself in adversity. You don't get picked for the fucking football team, so you find something that you are good at. But this obsession with, listen, and anyway, this idea of no feminine traits, because there can be masculine people, there can be men who have feminine traits. Yeah, that's fine, but I'm talking about general. And then I said to her, what attracted... Calm down, David, okay? I said to her, you have a very nice boyfriend, right? What attracted you to him? What traits attracted you? But she wouldn't say, and there's natural human sexual hot attraction that women, men, women, deep voice, hairy man. Women like a hairy man. Some women, there's a spectrum of attraction. But anyway, she wouldn't say. She said, kindness, kind soul. Would you fuck off? A kind soul. Are you going to fuck his soul hole? Sorry, everybody. Are you going to ride his soul? I'm going to ride the soul off you. Jesus Christ! But I mean, they've lost their mind. This desperation to be on the. At the expense of because there might be somebody in Mayo who's excluded.
Yeah.
Like, for fuck's sake, adversity, we need it.
Yeah, like nowadays, all the kids gets medal, even the last one.
Yeah, but what I'm
And
saying is it's the same with the Catholic Church. You know, those kind of really nutty religious types, and they're kind of disgusted by humanity. And it's the same with these little wokies, some of them. They're just kind of like horrified by, like me, a guy in my 50s, I'm nearly 60, saying I like the certain traits of femininity that I really find fantastic. And it's like, it's so old fashioned.
Well,
I can't believe he said that. But, cancel it. Okay.
Let's see what Uns.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Yeah,
hello,
actually,
Uns.
what does Uns have to say about that? Do you think I have a kind soul?
Oh, hi, Uns.
Hello, hey guys. It's quite intimidating being here for the first time.
But you've been here.
Yeah, no, but I know that I follow the podcast, so I see all the comments.
But you've been on the podcast a good few times.
Yeah, no, but in real life, never.
Oh yeah, and Hannah, what's that? She should speak into the fucking microphone.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What do I think? I think Jack has a very kind soul.
No, but I mean, in other words,
because apparently women like men who are kind. This is one of the underestimated features. Men don't understand. And apparently that's what it is.
Yeah, but you don't want to ride as kindness.
No, but the kindness should come along the way.
Yeah, with
first impression is the warrior,
Yeah.
He's supposed to protect you. He's supposed to hold you.
Okay, well, so what?
He's supposed to take you over, over the threshold of your home. If there is a paddle, he should carry you so you don't water, you're wet your feet. I love that.
Yeah. Like, women like bad boys, but only at the beginning. And then if they're not nice to them, then it's not really...
yeah, but what would you say are, like, physical, if in terms of physicality, like, what would masculine traits be?
Being tall.
Tall.
Very tall.
Tall is a good one.
Important.
But then, if I was talking to that lady that I was talking to, but there are some women who are very tall. That's what she would say. And then they'd say, so fucking what? There are some animals who live in the moon.
Like what?
I don't know. There aren't any animals.
Hey, listen, we didn't introduce the podcast.
Okay, I'm so angry I've lost the power of speech. Jack. Oh, Jack is back from Amsterdam.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to And That's Why We're Not Together, starring David McSavage and Hannah Andrews.
No, you were supposed to say Daniel, aren't you?
Oh yes, well okay, and I'll say and also thank you so much. Jack is back from Amsterdam. He's here in Dublin with his lovely lady Uns. It's probably the most difficult anyway. And Daniel, my prince. Jack on audio, Daniel on visuals. Yeah, Uns is a very it's probably quite annoying every time you have to introduce yourself. Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, I have
into the microphone.
I have a few ways I introduce. Usually it's just Uns. Everyone knows that song.
What do you mean?
Do you know like the techno song, right? Techno.
The techno. It's like a just a beat, like
really?
Okay, Uns.
So
the techno song that goes
right.
Yeah. And then they ask how's it spelled, as if that's gonna help at all, but it never helps.
Okay, now how is it spelled?
I-U-N-S.
I-U-N-S. Did you ever think about changing that name?
Oh, stop it, David. It's beautiful. Uns. When you get, there's some Irish names like Quiva.
Oh, God, Quifa.
Siobhan. Like, when I saw it written...
Queefer.
I thought it
Queefer
was
Sutherland.
Chopin. I thought it was Chopin.
Oh, yeah, Chopin, Chavoyan.
Chiboy.
This is... the one I can't stand people... Rory. You grew up Rory. But now it's...
Ruari.
Okay, sorry.
Did you know? I think you did a video. You know that guy on Instagram who has the long hair and he does the Irish.
Jesus Christ!
The Irish.
And he's like
the Irish way for. We don't say "I love you." We say, "Our heart is intertwined."
Yeah, no, we don't say. We don't. Yeah,
so
no.
romantic.
Oh, fuck off! We don't say "I love you." We say "My heart is up your arsehole." We say "I am in your arsehole. I live inside your arse."
I live inside your ribcage.
I live inside your anus. Your beautiful
anus
Irish ultra anus.
Utra, you know, like
Oh, your urethra. Urethra. I live inside your pee hole. I am a tiny little leprechaun swimming in your urine. Jesus, Hannah. Jack, why are you on the phone? So rude.
Because I'm looking for that Irish language guy.
Oh no, don't look for him because I think he's kind of a bit sensitive.
Well, that's,
it's funny.
that's better.
No, I know, but
it's always funnier to make fun of sensitive
No, but I did
people.
a video about him, and he has his followers. I think mostly from the United States.
Yeah.
Because they have this big, huge remove from what Ireland is. They have a very romanticized Hollywood version of Ireland. Sure, it's yourself and 1,000 up at the mornings. Would you have a bowl of cornflakes? Sure, my mother's leg is.
It's like it's kind of like just really selling yourself, you know.
But then we play into it though.
Yeah. I
for
mean,
the tourists, like the wild Atlantic way.
but it is wild.
He's like a
Everywhere is wild then.
Yeah, no, but like,
he's like a Carol's gift shop, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that guy.
that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the embodiment of a Carol's.
Well,
gift shop.
he's playing a character, isn't he? Surely, he's not actually like
that. But I think he is like that. That's his. He's not. It's not a joke. If it was a joke, it would be funny.
But Ireland is wild. You know, Bear Grylls was in Ireland, and
Yeah, that was he found a sheep. I remember that episode.
What?
He found a mauled sheep and he like slept it, or no, he like ate it or something. There was some farmer like, "What the fuck are you doing on my land, Bear?
How would you get the fuck out of my land? Leave the sheep alone, you bastard!" But I mean, Ireland isn't wild. Like, you're fucking 2 minutes away from a fucking spar shop every 10 seconds. What are you talking about?
isn't like
The
that.
wild Atlantic way, which is the wild Atlantic way, all the way the sea whack ups against the fucking cliffs, and you would be walking on the path, and the waves would drag you back into the.
Yeah, but like,
No, this is
if
a
those
fucking-
Americans goes in the west of Ireland to Kerry, they don't understand those people. They think then they like, aliens from the moon.
Kerry people are aliens.
Unce's friends tend to not understand me after a while.
But
because-
Lebanon must be wild, is it?
Yeah, Lebanon's very wild.
Into the microphone, missus.
Lebanon's very wild. But yeah, Jack, I feel like for Lebanese people, we're more used to American accents because it's easier to,
Yes.
Each word understand it in a sentence. But sometimes when Jack or you guys talk, it feels like a song, kind of, if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't. That's very bad.
It feels like it's
Why is
together.
that?
Oh, what is she talking about? I don't know what she's talking about.
But do Kerry accent.
I don't drink a Guinness. I let the liquid pour down my esophagus.
Oh yeah, no. The pint of Guinness. Every time a sip is taken, a soul is freed from purgatory, and you ascend into heaven. Hallelujah, Jesus, God made me. And and the Americans. Oh my God, he is so romantic.
Yeah.
And in Ireland, we don't say "I love you." We say "Allah wah wah wah." And in Ireland, we don't take a shit on the table. We smear it over our face. Stupid bastards. So I did an interview on Saturday in News Talk. And News Talk, I don't know if you've ever been inside the News Talk radio station. I remember when it started, it was all gleaming and new. And now it looks very kind of yellow at the edges. Things are peeling off. It looks a bit dusty. Do you know what I mean? News Talk. Because I guess, I'm not saying radio and TV is not important. But thankfully, I've said this before, it's nowhere near as important as it used to be. And so I went on for an interview with one of these classic... All right, so we have David McSavage in the interview in the room. Had an address, and he was a nice guy. What's his name? Anton Savage.
And you're Max Savage, huh?
Yeah, but
what a coincidence.
he's a nice bloke and
Yeah.
everything like that, right? Very nice man. Very nice man. Very charming. Anton, nice teeth. Lovely guy.
Better than yours?
Better than mine. And his mother... is a PR guru, Terry Prone, very nice lady. But I did have a kind of allergic reaction to that kind of very short form interview. So have you ever thought about writing one-liner jokes? And I'm like, what? You know, and but no, what was I going to say? Oh yes, before the interview, he says, "So what are you here to promote?" And I'm like, "Nothing," because you know my tour is over, right?
Oh, what
and
about podcast?
Anyway, but then I realized his researcher was probably just looking around for people,
For guests,
because they need content. So he doesn't know who's like, he doesn't know why I'm here sitting talking to him, and I don't know why I'm here. So the two of us were just sitting there, you know, talking.
But surely researchers should have filled him in before.
No, I'm sure they did. I mean, they did. He was asking me questions like he knew what, you know, he knew about me. But yeah, like the way I'm talking now, I'm very relaxed, chilled out. But there, it was kind of like, you know, I had this sort of visceral kind of. I just felt like I had an allergic reaction. You know, when you eat something and you need to go for a shit. I felt car sick. You know, there's just a way of talking. You know, there's certain people you meet on the street. Hello, yeah, sure, look, it hasn't rained. Fuck off, you know. And then there's other people you meet and they restore your faith in humanity. That's all I'm saying. Okay, thanks for sharing.
Have you ever gone on the radio and enjoyed it?
Yeah, no. I think one time I was on the radio. No, actually, one time I was on the radio with Ray Darcy, and I said, you know, no, but you know Ray Darcy, and he's very kind of, you know, upbeat, and you know, we all had cornflakes, and the gang went down to Mayo, and you know, sang a song with the two Johnnies. Sure, didn't we have a great time and all that? And and I said to him, yeah, do you ever suffer from depression? And I think he does, actually, and I didn't know that. But he never had me on since. Anyway, but thank God for social media.
It's
anyway.
sensitive.
Okay.
You're not going to say it again.
What?
Thank God of social media.
Oh yeah, and you know, today I was working out, doing my session with Danny, my trainer, and it was leg day, Hannah. Leg day, Hannah.
Make me.
Leg day, Hannah. It's the toughest of the days.
Okay.
I think the toughest are the lunges.
Can we say, you know?
And I bought a new barbell, a Rogue barbell 2.0. It's really good. It's black zinc finish. People who are into exercise equipment.
It would be good to actually use it.
Jesus Christ. Go on, what were you saying?
Would be actually good to use exercise equipment as well, not just look at it.
Okay, yeah. So now you're clipping my wings.
I'm not.
Well, you definitely are, because you're implying that I just buy this equipment just to look at it and I don't use it. Well, that's why I have employed a personal trainer who calls to my door 3 times a week. It's happening. I'm sorry, Hannah. It's working. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? My body is looking good.
It's my tempo.
There are lots of women out there who are not well and find me attractive.
What's your dating technique, David?
My dating technique is...
Follow first.
Oh, no.
Right.
Oh, God.
Follow, and then track their movements.
Oh, God.
And then
accidentally
bump into them.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Assess compatibility.
Where did you and Unce meet?
It's top secret, actually, outside there. I was with Finton, and we were out. I wasn't working there, but we were out in London, and then I said we'll go in there because of the cheap drinks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark Rothman. And
I mean, you weren't working there at the time?
I was working there, but not that night.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was a gong show, actually.
Okay.
And then she was outside with her sister and a friend, and then we went over to ask for a lighter. But we had 3 or 4 in the pocket, you know.
He asked for a lighter. Do you mean he was probably smoking, Hannah?
Well, for Finton.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, and had you seen Jack before he came up to you, Unce?
Yeah, actually, I spotted him, and I turned to my sister, and I gave her a little smile. And, yeah, he came up before. I usually don't do anything. I just, assess from far away, and but he came up, so yeah, it worked out, I guess.
What a lovely story.
But then I didn't see her for a year after that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We were just like in and out of contact, and then I went to London and we went on a date, and then didn't see each other for another few months. And we went to Greece together.
Where did you go for a first date?
And share the microphone, Uns.
We were in London. We went to a jazz bar or something like that. But it was a really nice time. Honestly, I didn't think I was gonna go and meet him that day. I was really nervous.
Oh yeah, say that. Yeah, she was gonna back out of the.
Why were you nervous?
Because that was it would be my first official date. Really, like
Ever?
Kind of.
Huh?
Kind of. Not in the traditional sense, being asked out and me saying yes.
Very
and
nice.
Stuff. Yeah, I was really nervous. I was having a mental breakdown. No,
Oh,
not that
bad. But it's so.
No, I'll tell you the funniest. Okay, you won't like me saying this, but we were in Greece and because after it was a couple of years ago in the summer, I had some free time, and I was like thinking, okay, we haven't seen her in a while. We'll go to Greece, and then we were like, it was quite intense, you know, because we didn't know each other that well, but we're in Greece and we were both kind of like our own space and stuff like that. And then I think on the second day she goes to me, oh, my uncle's here and he's coming over for a few hours.
What?
He's coming over for a few.
Just listen.
He's coming over for a few hours, and I thought, okay, so I had to leave the Airbnb that I booked, you know, and go out and wander around or whatever. And I was texting her like, "Can I come back now?" And then she's like, "Yeah, you go, like after a few hours." And then whatever, you know, last day of the trip was great. And then a couple of months ago we were talking about it, and I was like, "You don't have an uncle in Greece." And she just
What the hell?
she just said that because she was just wanting to have like a few glasses of wine and just to relax a bit.
Go on, let me hear this.
Okay, so my side of the story. Jack said he wanted to go out and have a little stroll and everything, and we'd been together for at least 48 hours at this point, constantly, every minute together. And at that point, I was too shy to say like, oh, maybe we should like, you know, I don't know, take a little break.
Yeah,
or
just do our own thing for a while. Yeah, just
and I was
decompress.
nervous being around him constantly. You know? So the second day came, and I was like, you know what's gonna fix it? I'm just gonna let him go on a little stroll by himself for an hour, make him think that I'm alone, and then drank a few glasses.
But how would your uncle be in Greece?
Could happen.
Well, we didn't know each other that well.
Oh, I see.
I had no idea, you know.
Okay, yeah, it's funny, isn't it, the way people's minds were. I would never have come up with that plan.
Yeah, that's
clever.
That's why Uns is a spy.
It's very clever, very clever.
Yeah, but I didn't hurt anyone's feelings, anyways. I hope you're fine, Jack.
No, you could have kept it secret.
And the first day I met her, she gave me a fake name. As well.
He called me a psychopath the first day. He never met me.
It is funny though, you know, because definitely when you're younger, well, I see a lot of couples, they live in each other's pockets and they're with each other all the time, and there's no, you know, and they sort of become this little bubble, which I guess for some people, you know, it's okay, but like when I was in a relationship, like a codependent, maybe relationship with certain people, you know, if they wanted to be on their own, If they wanted to be on their own, you know, I'd look at it as a rejection. You know, but it is good to decompress and have your own space, and then you appreciate each other so much more, right?
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Yes.
I just wonder what that sock is all about.
Yeah, whose sock is that?
Oh, go on, guys.
It's very small.
Whose sock is that?
It doesn't feel like it'll fit your foot.
Whose sock is that?
Whose sock is that?
No, I believe that sock belongs to an ex-girlfriend of mine, but I haven't seen it in ages. I don't know how it showed up. It could be someone else's. Okay, come on. What's going on? Oh, yes. Yes.
Well, speaking of couples like that, did you ever hear of Machine Gun Kelly and what's her Megan Fox? And they
Jesus, that one Megan. Megan
they
Fox.
breathe. What did you?
Oh yeah.
They breathe each other's breath.
Apparently, the first night they stayed together, they didn't do anything but breathe into each other's mouths.
But I think this is like a tantric practice.
Really?
Yeah, you sort of like sit and you sort of breathe in and out until you like exchange the breath and synchronize the breath. Well, you wouldn't do it for hours, but you can do it, you know, like stare into each other's eyes. Just try to do it, and you know, like you challenge yourself, you challenge the awkwardness, and maybe after after 20 minutes staring into each other, like do it. You naked, your partner is naked, you sit in front of each other, you stare into each other's eyes for 20 minutes, and in 20 minutes, a magic might happen. You don't know. Just try.
What magic?
Magic in the sense that, you lose
it always involves crying.
You might need a shit or something like that.
No, but it always involves crying. The magic. It's all like, yes, I got a deeper understanding of my deepness, of my depth. Through your eyes, you looked into me, and it was a deeper eyes, and eyes that are deeper of your eye, and then me and you, and then I knew that we could take it further.
Somebody else's soul, somebody's
and
vulnerability.
my soul was intertwined with your vulnerability, was stitched onto your eyes, and I loved eyes.
Women always want to. Oh, sorry, Dan.
No, I'm just wondering if David, are you ever romantic? Like,
he is romantic. He just covers it up. A little bit. He's so afraid of himself.
Well, that is true.
I think that's what it is. You're afraid of yourself. Yeah. Afraid of yourself being romantic and...
My life is so dramatic because I'm afraid of myself. If you look at myself in the mirror and go, don't start today. Just back off. But that's why I am afraid of doing the ayahuasca like you did up in Wicklow.
Yeah. Because you might meet your shadow.
Yeah.
And go on a journey.
I don't want my doors to be open.
Well, you never know. Ayahuasca is so clever that she only works. She because it's mother plant.
Hello, ayahuasca. How are you today?
It's father, represent fatherhood. Ayahuasca is mother. So
I make fun of it. Well, a feeble attempt at humor, but you did it tens of times, right?
Tens of times. No, about
Hannah, why
50?
when you're offered the opportunity to open up and be honest, you do this? Look.
No, I just tens of times.
Why do you shut down?
I'm not shutting down.
You did it about 40 times, did you?
Yeah, but not tens of times. 10,
10,
so
40.
40. Yeah, I thought you meant much more. Yeah, about 40.
But that's an extraordinary thing to do, and it shows a real resilience and toughness and mental. I don't know why you resist.
Yeah, I'm just listening.
I couldn't do that. I'd be
couldn't.
I couldn't. No.
Yeah,
Amazing.
It's not for everyone.
No, it's not.
And you have to.
But you're like, that's what I mean. Well, if you want to get, if you want to give like we talk about toughness, resilience, strength, brute force. But that kind of, I would say that's a feature, I would say, of the feminine. There's brute strength, and then there's this kind of long-term sustainable strength. That women,
they long-term, much more resilient.
Like you see these.
Yeah, like if you think about Hannah, she was married to you for 16 years, so.
But
I survive. What was that song? I'm
a survivor. But I saw that.
I will survive.
I've seen those shows, where these survivor shows, and they throw them out. They fuck them out onto an island, and there's this guy day 1, and he's fucking hacking down a tree, and then day 3, he's shit all over himself, and he's just rubbish, and he's falling over, and then there's some tiny little young woman, or whatever age. And they've just slowly get the job done, figure it out, and they're just tougher. And
but maybe they don't want to show off. They just want to. They assess their strength and maybe.
But do you know what it is though? With all this. Sorry for talking over you, but I'm not. You
got more interesting things to say.
No, I don't. No, but the thing.
That's what you think.
The thing that bothers me about all this Andrew Tate stuff, and there's all these podcasts coming up, and it's all kind of versus women, and they're trying to undermine and put women in.
Those guys who get the 8 women around the table.
Right, those guys.
Say,
and there's this guy.
They say rate yourself out of 10.
No, and he kind of has this really passive.
He's
got a really passive aggressive laugh. It's like he's really he's a bit vile, and he looks like he's crying his eyes out. But the thing is, we're in it together. Man, without sounding like a hippie, I mean, we're absolutely connected. We're absolutely part of a whole thing, men and women.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, we're part of
winners.
Hey, dude, we're like part of the same species.
But I mean, this kind of divide stuff and trying to catch each other out and pit yourself against, are you saying it's kind of it's quite boring. It's boring and it's scary and it's very kind of Twitter type of, well, actually, we're in this human experiment together, and we look after each other, and that's it, isn't it?
But I mean, as people talk about that type of stuff all the time. Like if you see, like even guys when they're together, oh, you know, what do you think about her? What do you think? And then girls are all the time going on about it, aren't they? I mean, I don't know.
But are you talking about? Are you sorry?
Everyone talks, but those shows that you're talking about. I feel like there's this element of. I was watching a video of people love it. It's called shame porn, I think. It's basically they love seeing women get shamed for dressing scantily or whatever. They love seeing that, or they'll send messages that are like, say this, and it's something really embarrassing, and they just they pay a lot of money for them to do that. So I think it's that plays into it as well.
Well, what do you mean they shame a woman if she's dressed scantily?
So that I don't know what the podcast is called exactly, but I know that he brought on a few girls.
Okay.
And a really like a feminist also with those girls that were wearing they're against feminism, let's say.
Oh, and a sign of feminism is that you wear clothing that reveals your body.
No. They were just wearing revealing things, and then they said, why are you wearing that stuff? If you're a feminist, you shouldn't be showing all your stuff. Like, defend yourself. And then the feminist on the panel said, don't answer the question because this is shame porn. They want you to be ashamed publicly, and they love that.
Okay, yeah. Well, but that's what I'm saying. It's all this. They're pitting each other against each other, as if we're like,
but it's
as if it's divided. Like we're against them, or like we're a different species or something. But we're part of the. And it's kind of embarrassing.
But their product is that they bring the confident girl down to earth.
Okay,
that's the whole thing.
There you go. That's That's why people are tuning into it.
That's the selling point.
So in other words, it's guys.
They want to see someone's world crumble.
So you have these. I think you're so right because you see these girls are gorgeous women, and the guys that would be tuning into that wouldn't have a fucking hope in hell of hooking up with a lot of those girls, and so they like to see this fucking dude taking them down a peg or two.
Yeah, but this is like.
But sometimes that can be funny, though.
This is like a format.
Sometimes that can be funny, but also that's what the basis of X Factor is all about. By people going up and thinking they're brilliant, and then they fucking collapse like a house of cards. It is quite funny, but it doesn't matter if they're women or men.
Yeah, it's the same. Like that program they have. They bring the new comedians and they tour them.
Kill Tony.
It's the same.
Yeah.
So they bring like.
Actually, somebody came up to me and said, "Please bring back Hannah's 1 minute thing."
Oh no, I'm never gonna do it again.
I loved it.
It was so good.
Did you
see Hannah's?
It was so even if it was good, I couldn't do it good because I had no platform.
The fucking hurt on Hannah's face after it wouldn't go well. She'd be like this. She was just like totally freaked. You took it so seriously. It was great. That's why it was so
seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, you wanna, you have to come up with material. You have to say it.
Yeah.
Even if you're not taking it seriously, you are. And then you've got a hostile audience, who hates you from the start. There's like only one or two people.
They want to bring it back down to earth.
They want to bring, they want you to shut it down and crumble. It's completely, it's a money-making machine. It's just like.
Well, we're talking about Kill Tony.
Yeah, no, like everything, like this is a format.
X Factor.
See people crumble.
America's Got Talent.
Everything, based on that we watch. It's like a car crash.
Okay, let's do it. Let's that song you sing, Stars Shining Up.
No, not that. I've already
Okay,
sang
hi
it.
Hannah.
Hey.
So do you think you have the X Factor?
Oh, I do. I definitely do. I sing all the time.
What are you going to sing for us today?
Stars Shining.
Okay, let's go.
What's the song
when you're ready.
called?
What is that song called? Stars shining above me.
I don't.
What is it? Dream a little dream of me. Okay.
Oh no, I just can't. I can't.
But it's so funny when Hannah starts. She stars shining up above me.
Your voice is like honey to my ear.
Oh yeah, and she had this French
That was
boyfriend.
I was telling you, my friend's boyfriend. We sitting in the car. Okay, we used to sit in the car, and I started singing. You tried to kick me out of the car because I was just offending.
So
your
when me and
ears.
Hannah together,
And
Hannah is as deaf musically as deaf as an old post, and she can't sing.
Sorry, I probably have a few songs. I
No,
could
she doesn't.
sing.
No, but sorry, I know I'm being cruel now, but to make a point. But you know, and I know, and yeah, and so then when Hannah was going out with this French guy, Hannah was saying to him, you know, my David used to always make fun of my voice, and he's like, oh, that makes me angry. You have a beautiful voice like an angel, and then she's going la 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 la, and he's beautiful. Yes, oh Mario.
True. He's like all tense everywhere. Vain bullshit. It's so nice.
He did a few Tai Chi movements.
Can you
It's
sing?
called Bagua.
Oh, Bagua, yeah.
No, I'm not a singer.
Oh, this is a good voice. She's a good voice.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure she does.
Wait, actually, Daniel has a really good voice.
Thank you.
Yes, Daniel got that.
But we're not talking
David.
about Daniel now.
Oh, yeah, maybe, you know, some Lebanese song? Like a...
Yeah, do a
I'm
little.
so-
Do a little.
Yeah, dance.
I'm so bad at it.
Dance
Dance first.
What is that thing where they go?
You can do it. You
Yeah.
can do it.
Like a call women do,
give it-
don't
yeah.
you?
I'm bad at it though.
No, you know, just...
Wait, no. There are people that are
What are you
really
doing
good
this?
at it. Okay, yeah, you have to do this for some reason. I don't know why people do
Okay,
this.
go
This is the technique.
And then I look like a baby.
Come on, and
bird.
what? Yeah. Wait.
I can't do it.
Just chill out. Just let her do
Yeah,
it.
but I want to.
Let me take out a video and actually.
Yeah, but wait a second. What I'm asking. So in other words, it's like just a sound of encouragement, or just an exciting
Yeah,
sound.
it's like the Arab version of woo.
Okay, yeah. So it's no.
Very, very close. I don't know. Yeah, that's what it feels like when you do it. But it sounds amazing when women do it at weddings and things like that. It's just, yeah, celebratory. Did you guys hear about the pregnant lady that is being kept alive
Where?
for months in America? And
Never mind.
that was different.
Go on.
She died a few months ago in a car accident, and she was married, and she already had a child with the husband, and she was pregnant with the other one, and got into a car accident, and then based on state laws, they kept her alive by force. Her family don't want to keep her alive and don't want the baby, but they kept her alive because they can't kill the baby based on state laws. So she's been kept for I think 5 months now, and she's in a coma. She's in a complete.
And the baby's doing okay though.
Yeah, it's growing. They're waiting till a
Wow.
few more weeks.
Wow,
To
amazing!
pull it
Wow.
out. But if we think about the implications that this will have, I feel like it's scary.
Well, what?
Yeah, for the baby as well. I don't know. Maybe the baby. You see, the baby it's like a merge with the woman. The baby grows in the womb, and how the woman behaves. How lives during this time is really, really important.
Yeah, I mean
So-
that is pretty mind-boggling. That.
Well, I would say maybe they are moving the lady around, and maybe they're playing sounds because
Yeah.
obviously the baby's going to hear the heartbeat.
But isn't that pretty incredible?
That they can do it, or that they're allowed
they
to
can
do
do it? Because I imagine the mother who died would want
The baby to survive.
Yeah.
But the family don't want her, even her mother, and they're being forced to pay for her. They're being forced to pay for her to stay alive, and they don't want her. Like I think it's torture, really. Just
Yeah, and also is the
Well,
baby.
how is it
is the
To the
I don't
family.
know. It's just somebody has to look after the baby. There's responsibility, and is the baby, is the baby healthy?
I think it's healthy. I think they're waiting till it comes out to see if it's been affected in any way. But I think it's scary because then are we gonna be doing that to dead women's bodies and just start using them as incubators? I know
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
it's really okay. It might be far off, but I think
Yeah.
there is an element of okay, we can start
Yeah.
using dead bodies like this.
Wow.
Which is kind
And
of
keep
weird.
them in a coma, and grow the fetus until the baby. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, but
sounds,
it would be I mean, imagine growing up and it's like you were when your mother was pregnant, she was on life, you know, she
Life
was
support
dead.
system, yeah.
That's just mad. Yeah, it's a good point though. That
Well, that's killed the atmosphere.
No, it's just like it's you know, science which, you know, science or experiments.
Pretty sure there was a film about that.
Microphone, Jack. What was that?
I'm pretty sure there was a film about
Well,
that.
it wasn't that in the Matrix or something. They had incubators and
used as human farms or
human batteries.
yeah.
Batteries.
So, you know, they say whatever happening to us, it was all written, you know, all shown in sci-fi movies, you know?
Oh yeah, no, I
Like
absolutely.
COVID, you know,
No, but whatever. No,
indoctrination.
but we write about what we dream of happening, and then we manifest it. You know the way you say you manifest a dream. So if you look at the Bible, what's the big promise? The big promise is that when you die, you live for eternity. That's what. So they're trying to make death not. Don't worry about death because that's just a gateway to
They're saying.
So in other words, what I'm saying is that's what we're heading towards. People will live forever.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah, people will live
whatever.
forever, and there'll be and you'll be able to replicate your, everything.
But yeah, the family isn't necessarily annoyed that the child wasn't, or the child is being kept supported. It's just that they didn't have the choice.
Yes.
Which is the main thing. Because in Georgia, a fetus has the same rights as a person after it can be detected on an embryo.
Oh.
On a
in Georgia.
scanner.
Well,
Okay.
this is the thing about that. Like people have, very strong held opinions on both sides, but nobody nobody wants to have an abortion. It's not something that you just but it's
you as a fickle thing.
it's just a thing. It's a very tough decision to have to make, and it's a very difficult thing to do. It's not a.
I was just wondering, when we're talking about the movies, I've just seen that movie Bono, Stories of Surrender. Have you seen it?
Yeah, sorry, I'm yawning now for some reason.
What was going
I don't
on?
know. Yes, I saw some of it slips into it and it's really good, and then other stuff is quite ponderous. You see, that's the problem with Bono. Actually, he's done an awful lot of good, like with the charity side of things. But there's, and it just shows you like how annoying he. I mean, well. I think he draws. I think
he's a musician.
I think he draws a lot
amazing.
of. He gets a lot of negative attention. Maybe because I don't know why exactly, but the problem is, and you see a lot of this that they're brilliant in one area. You see this with actors or musicians, and they have all this praise, and then they think that they're going to get anything they do, they're going to get that sort of recognition, acceptance, validation. But when he steps out of his area.
Are you talking about
Bono.
working for peace and
No, but it just sometimes he just makes these statements that kind of maybe in the context of a song it works, but then he's just a bit out of
when he start preaching people.
Yeah, he's a bit out of tune, out of touch.
And
I'm saying.
The Guardian gives it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I watched it and first I said, oh my God, it's so contrived.
Yes.
But then I thought, it's for people who love music. They want to dig deeper and.
Yeah,
and the movie is actually really, really well stylized.
Yes.
It's aesthetically quite beautiful, and there's a lot of beautiful close-ups. And also what I really liked, that he does talk about his father, his mother who died when he was age 14, and it always haunted him. And, we're certain age, but we still look back where we come from. Our families, they make us or give us the base who we are,
Yeah, he's very contrived. There's something about the way he talks. There's something about the guy that, and it worked. But he's a great singer. And I watched a bit of it, and my favorite part was definitely how these songs came together.
Yeah.
Which was because because some of those songs they punched right through and they were amazing. But
no, like I think that especially Irish people don't appreciate Bono as abroad. Like he's megastar. Like he's one of the most famous people.
But it's like that. It's like
Earth.
that Irish Instagram guy where you're like, you know, abroad you're like the Irish, yeah, we're Irish, and then but back home you're like, yeah, this fucking ages ago, whatever. but this is a good line. It's Bono is certainly working hard to find a new register of humility in his public persona.
Yeah, and he said, you know, like in this interview with Joe Rogan, he said about, you know, he talks a lot about humor, and he says that in this one he tries to use humor to get to people, not just like preaching because people don't like it. And he says, you know, when the comedian goes and says stuff and challenges people with the comedy, people just much more open. He says, when I go and have a sign, you know, whatever sign, you know, what he wants to say, people just like start booing, you know, they don't want it.
But why are you charging? Is he like charging tickets for this thing and stuff?
No. It's a documentary. It's called Songs of.
No, it's like a movie.
Yeah, what's it called?
Stories of Surrender.
But you know
it's based on his memoir.
You know these like singers and stuff or whatever, musicians who want to do like want to do some activism or something, but they like charge tickets to a show and they want to.
No, this is not.
No.
He was just going around promoting his memoir, so his book,
Right.
and then his book called Surrender: 40 Songs, One Story.
He's essentially a really good guy. You know,
Well,
he's got goodwill.
The biggest achievement
He's got
is-
goodwill and good intention. But there's some parts of his personality. This guy has a beautiful golden voice. I mean, I have to react to U2 when I was into them, really into them when I was in my 20s. And you know, it was fucking powerful fucking music. You know, I don't know.
They're very prolific, and
Do you think it's done? I mean, do you guys listen to U2? Do you listen to U2?
The only exposure I have to them is their songs are always on Apple Music.
Yeah. Without your consent.
They expose themselves to you without your consent.
Exactly.
That is quite disgusting.
Yeah, but
I had no
it's
will.
true, because if you open Spotify, is it Spotify or is I
It was
open?
Apple Music.
It's an Apple, so U2 songs. There's one album comes up always. So when you open it first,
Yeah, right. But do you think it stands? Do you think it, Daniel?
Well,
do you think
we
it-
were.
think it
Remember,
does.
Daniel? We were at Fibber McGee's, and there was the cover band, and they were playing like Vertigo and which other one?
Beautiful day.
Beautiful, yeah. They're good. They're good.
And that.
But I think Tin Lizzy for me. I prefer Tin
yeah.
Lizzy
But
because they were
that-
playing Tin Lizzy as well. I just think that's for me.
That's interesting, isn't it?
It's
What
cooler music. Yeah.
But that opening drum beat on Sunday Bloody Sunday, you know, when it just fucking rips
it's genius.
And there was a few songs, very prolific, and Edge is a genius, but definitely Bono. The way he talks sometimes is slightly contrived, but then again, that's
But
fucking
listen,
who he is. He
apparently-
puts himself out there,
Yeah.
and he talked about himself. But
He says he went to talk to George Bush about, curbing AIDS, in Africa, and he got him to work with him. So so Americans poured a lot of money, and
and George Bush was like, yeah. Okay, let me get a picture, Bono.
yeah, but like it's amazing, he's so known that he can actually make politicians to do certain action that it's just beneficial to humankind.
so we should be proud of our Bob Geldofs and our Bonos.
Yes, I
Yes.
think so.
Yeah, well,
I
I think if you think positively of Bob Geldof, you probably think you can't not think positively of Bono, right?
Yes.
They kind
Yeah.
of do the same thing.
And also they know everyone, everyone important.
And I know the people that are negative or rip into them, what the fuck have you done, shithead?
Yeah, and also
done
Bono
nothing,
is
you've-
a deep believer. He's a deep Catholic.
But I think the one thing I don't know if this is true. This is what I've heard from other people, that there's some tax. You might not pay tax in Ireland or something.
But actually,
is that a thing? I don't know. But that's
he pays a lot of tax in general, and then he probably have some offices.
Are you?
in
Can I just say? Do you think any Irish person, if they were making the kind of cash that Bono was making, do you think they wouldn't be doing the exact same fucking thing?
Of course,
they would be.
They have income from all other parts of the world, and it goes through their office in Netherlands.
Anyway,
or whatever.
so I think the moral of the story is Bono, good person, but a bit annoying. Okay,
can we move on? Amazing.
He's the co-founder of One, a global campaign and advocacy organization with more than 9 million members committed to taking action to end extreme poverty.
Yeah. So I mean, how can that not be a good thing?
It is good. Although I do, a lot of times I have problem, maybe not with this one, a lot of NGOs and people donating money where you never knows where it goes.
Oh, definitely. No, there are some there are some charity organisations where they cut, and also giving money is a very difficult.
We should really get Sinead on though to tell us all about that. You know?
Yeah. But all these charities, and you pay the charity to function and everything, but I think that we pay so much to tax that it should be structured through governments, through bigger organizations, and when they go, they have a plan. It's not like, there are some people in Africa. But listen, there are some people in Africa never cooked a meal and they like 50.
Hannah, this is a comedy podcast.
I know, but we can laugh at that. You're 50 years of age and you've never seen the kitchen.
What's the guy? He's the.
What the hell are you talking about, Hannah?
Yeah, you've never
50?
Seen.
Yeah.
Let's say there are people.
Hannah, you're basically David's NGO.
I've tuned out of this conversation. Who's 50 and not eating a conversation?
Listen, there are people in the camps in Africa.
Oh, camps.
They've never ever
Hannah.
cooked a meal.
Just take a break.
They just given ready-made cornflakes with, and what I mean, is that doesn't serve anyone.
Daniel, what else is happening in the news?
Well, apparently Greta Thunberg has been taken by Israeli forces.
What?
Yeah.
Hannah, you can't be laughing at that.
I don't know. She's really annoying. Like you think that Bono's
so
annoying?
I think so. People who are trying to do good things can also be really annoying. It's a kind of interesting thing, isn't it?
Well, I think Bono wants to be like a kind of hero figure. I think
but he is.
But I know, but he wants to be adored in a way like that, kind of like Bono's amazing, he's and then he doesn't get that response, so it's a bit.
Well, I don't think I think when you talk about charity and when you step outside, maybe that's the idea, if he steps outside of what he's good at and he's open to a lot of criticism, so therefore you would say that he's not doing the whole charity one thing and debt and all that for popularity. It's because he really gives a shit and he cares and he believes in it.
Yeah.
And so what does he care? Because of a couple of people who just find.
We just want Batman.
So Greta Thunberg. How come your nose is a bit blocked?
Well, there's pollen in there. Or
something.
I'm
talking to Daniel.
Yeah, I hate when you ask those obvious questions. It's like how come you've got a spot on
David?
On
David,
your forehead?
It's
just the same.
Why does your face look like that?
Yeah, why? I see you've got a bit of dirt here. It looks like a dead fly on your forehead.
Well, wipe it off, Hannah.
I think it suits you. Suits you, sir.
Anyway,
what about Greta? I just want to know what happened to Greta.
Were you reading about it, Daniel?
Sorry, go on, Daniel.
Do you know the lowdown?
No, I just looked at the storyline.
Go on. What is the storyline?
I mean the headlines.
So what? The Israeli Defense Forces.
I'll tell you. So basically,
Daniel, I want to hear.
Okay, well,
no, just say it.
I'll say something too. They were sailing. Greta was sailing with one of the actors from Game of Thrones. Actually, I think Stannis.
Are they dating?
No, but he's really an activist and everything. So they had tried to sail.
There's 15 activists on the boat or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I only knew of those two, but they tried to sail I think twice before, and they were bombed. Their actual ship was bombed, which I found
by
surprising.
drones.
by Israeli forces. So,
Okay.
That wasn't the one that Greta was on.
Yeah, no. And then this time she was on the boat, and apparently now Daniel's saying that Israeli forces took her, which I believe, honestly.
So Israeli forces have taken her.
Yeah, because they have a blockade on all naval, and obviously it's contested as it's not a legal blockade or whatever. But I was reading there's a port called Ashdod where you can deliver humanitarian aid to Gaza, apparently, but obviously it's all controlled by the Israelis. And this flotilla is all about saying you can't legally have a naval blockade on Gaza. You know, it's against
the law, the humanitarian law.
Yeah, and then so there was other flotillas before that. So there was another one where all the people got detained, and I think they still don't know what's happening with them. I mean, I need to fact check that exactly. But with the Greta Thunberg ship, they've detained them all. You know, but I assume Israel's not going to go and. Do anything crazy to Greta Thunberg, because if they do that, then they're really gonna, they're really gonna piss people off,
Well, no, but if she died, then she would be a martyr.
I hope Israeli not gonna kill her.
Jesus Christ! I was watching a thing on my feed yesterday. There was this German cyclist, right? But she had a big ass. It should have had its own postcode. It was a big, meaty, muscular gluteus. No, but the thing is, do you know what? Why can't you say that?
I just think it's inappropriate.
Is it inappropriate?
It's a biological.
Well, no, because she was such a great cyclist.
Fat? Was she fat?
No, fast. She was such a great cyclist that her musculature was really advanced.
Bitch. Because she got a great ass.
But she had a bismuth. But the point was, her surname was Grobosch. Grobosch. It's Grobosch. It sounds like grabars. Oh, well, I thought,
dirty old man.
Well, I'm just saying that, you could punch
it. Only at your age you can come up with that
but you could
joke.
land a helicopter on that thing. It was just you could eat your food off it. You could eat your dinner off it. You could
snort coke.
You could snort coke, Hannah.
David sharing his fantasies.
No, but is it inappropriate for me to talk about the body part of another person?
You're very descriptive and sort of concentrating on her. Some body parts and making how it looked, big it was.
I mean, it's very life affirming and it's wonderful, and it looks very what's the word? Fertile.
No horny. No horny.
No horny? What, Daniel? What does that mean? No horny.
It means that it's life affirming and not horny.
Yes.
It's just.
How dare you?
That's Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg.
How dare you?
How dare you? Let's hear it again.
How dare you?
Okay.
That's very British. Okay, how dare you?
How dare you? No, how dare you?
How dare you?
It's very emotional.
I think that honestly very commendable what she did though, getting on the boat, right?
This looks like a setup for a joke.
No. But I just do think it's funny that people kind of think that somehow this girl kind of just came out of the blue and became this climate activist, like this Greta. People just think.
Well, did it not happen organically?
No, it didn't happen organically.
What do you mean it didn't?
Her parents are on the boards of
I see. And so
climate activist groups.
So in the same way you would say showbiz mothers or Broadway, where they push their kids up on stage. They were pushing their kid to.
I mean, how many young people are there around the world who are calling about climate activism?
Right.
You think this one girl just came out organically? It's
well, anyway, it worked. The parents created this climate
monster.
This
fabulous girl. Really effective.
But I don't know. I just think
fighting for our future.
I just think for me
the iceberg is melting. The water is rising. New York is gonna be under the water in the It should be under the water 10 years ago already.
The icebergs are melting, the water is rising, New York will be flooded.
It's supposed to be already
I'm
flooded
trying
10
to
years
sing
ago.
trying to sing a song,
Okay.
mate. You know, because if you look on Instagram, there are pages or loads of accounts with millions of followers, and it's just a woman with an arse, with a really great ass. So, like, basically, as a comedian, I can't compete with that. You know what I mean?
No.
Well, so like, so I'm being beaten, resounded
ass.
by the ass.
Oh, by tits. Actually, that's
Tits.
amazing. You know,
Yeah.
like I've seen
But
that girl with
I guess it's as
amazing boobs,
yeah.
and
And
that's what she does.
And she she stands around.
Yeah.
And she goes like this. Look, hello.
Yeah, 10 million followers.
Look.
Arab dancing.
Look, if I had tits, look, I'd have millions of followers. But what I'm saying is, but that kind of shows you like biology, and it's still exciting. It's never boring. It's never out of date. It doesn't, you know the way things come and go. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah.
you have what do you call them?
It's perpetual.
Novelty. It doesn't lose it. It's not a novelty.
It's always novel.
It always seems to be very exciting.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the way you had hula hoops, you had skateboard, you had this, but tits are always in fact. Well, what I'm trying to say is
Tits will stay there forever.
but I can't remember what I was going to say, but I was going to say something.
Profound.
Okay, but by the way, I think I was wrong about Greta Thunberg.
What?
I don't think her parents are that. I take that back.
Okay.
I take that back.
So she's organically.
Yeah, I think she's more organic than I thought. I'll admit when I make a mistake.
Okay.
She's great.
I think she's great. She's amazing. What are you doing, David? Are you doing this?
No, I was trying to
tapping?
remember. I was trying to remember what my point was, as regards not being able to compete with the accounts of people. I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, well I think guys. So guys, maybe inexperienced. Well, guys would look at these women, you know, really good bodies and so on, and they have these accounts, and hey, you've got a really great ass, and maybe in their heads they're probably thinking she's going to read that message and going, really, Johnny .125 / living at home alone thinks I have a great ass. Oh, Johnny, really? Can we meet for a coffee so you can see it? I'm so happy that you know, like guys. And then I think they have OnlyFans pages, so that you can go onto the OnlyFans and pay a subscription.
It's like a
What's your favorite one?
I don't have it. I've never subscribed to OnlyFans, Jack. You pervert.
Better don't, because you've got addictive personality. I'm sorry, you're gonna go with nothing.
But I guess look, I mean. Would you do an OnlyFans if you knew you'd get subscribers? And you were guaranteed like 5,000 a month, let's say, but you had to show them your. Sorry, guys, you don't want to hear about your mothers. You wouldn't do it.
No. Would you? What a question! How dare you?
How dare you? My name is Michael D. Higgins, and I'm the President of Ireland. Look at my lovely
How
tits.
dare you?
Look at my lovely tits. My presidential boobs.
Our grandfather was at Áras an Uachtaráin, which doesn't mean presidential house. It means the house where the tall man of the.
What does it really mean? Áras the Uachtaráin.
Áras an Uachtaráin.
Uachtaráin.
I don't know what it means actually.
Jack, what does it mean?
Well, let me look it up.
Yeah, because he was getting some medal from award from Michael D. Higgins. Yeah, because he's 90 and for his achievement.
Oh, it's House of the President. Yeah.
Oh, House of the President.
How long have we been broadcasting, Daniel?
An hour and 4 minutes.
Go on.
Oh, no, I just wanted, because we were talking about your grandfather, and I was yesterday at the graveyard in Dean's Grange, and I found your great-grandfather...
Todd Andrews' grave.
Andrews' grave. So he's buried with his mother, no one else, and there's a new resident, Eva Andrews. being just buried.
But Grandad was in the Aras on Uachtaráin with Michael D. Higgins for his 90th birthday. And he was having an afternoon tea there to celebrate his life. And Granny played some piano in there as well.
Oh, that's nice.
Pretty cool.
Pretty
That's
cool.
nice.
You know?
Pretty cool. Yeah, it's a really nice place.
And I think Grandad's literally 2 Michael D's. You know?
Oh, you mean the size?
size.
Oh, the size.
Well, I have to say, listen, it's a fairly thankless old role, being a figurehead, of the Irish.
What do you mean, being a
thankless.
president?
No, yeah, I mean it's a tough thing to do.
I think it's amazing. Like,
It's not.
Why is it?
Why? Because you have to go to this
it's
opening.
not thankless. It's really. I mean, there are people, especially politicians, they love doing that.
Okay,
it's
but what
not like thankless.
I don't know if it would be my idea of hell, but the idea of having to
Well,
go.
like nobody would choose you, David, and you're not really suitable.
Okay.
Because those people.
I can't even finish the sentence,
No,
Jack.
because actually you're really
I'm
wrong
saying
this
it's
way.
it's a tough gig to get up, to have to go to the opening
Get up
of
in
it.
the morning,
You
7 o'clock.
not enough people sympathize with heads of states. Okay, it's a tough role. You got to shake hands. You got to moisturize. You got to moisturize.
But
your
you have to be
hands.
no. But
you know how easy it is to callous.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
no, Jack, you show up to this thing, the opening of this event, the opening of that, and you're sitting.
David, you're not showing up to some
And hey,
boring old fart.
yeah,
you're
but-
meeting other head of states who actually have something to say, and maybe they find it interesting. Like I spent
I would
some
find my
time-
social batteries would be depleted very quickly in that fucking
Yeah,
situation.
because you're not
On
suited.
Friday, you're going to the opening of a thing, and you're going like, "Oh, fuck off!" And you're sitting there. Hello, and how long have you been scraping something? Are we been doing it? That's amazing. And is that made of wool? Fuck off.
I don't think they have a conversation like that.
Is that made of wood? And we got it in the bag. Oh, brilliant. And Saturday now you have to go and meet Jerry. Hello, Jerry. How long have you been doing that? And you're doing that for 7 years. But what I was trying to say was, before you interrupted me, that he's very good at it. He seems to be excited by the whole thing.
Yeah,
He's a lovely little man. And he
Because it is
jumps,
exciting.
he leaps and bounces around the place. Oh, you lovely lady. Woohoo. And all that shit. Good for him.
jump under the lady's skirt.
So he's into it, and he's a good guy to have as he's a good representative, and he knows the right thing.
And he stands out from the crowd of other
He
presidents.
doesn't stand out because he's so small, and he pitches he knows what the right thing to say at the right time.
Exactly.
Fucking
But
hell.
he really drives that mystical quality of Ireland
Yeah, because
to the world.
because he's so tiny.
Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
He's a living proof.
he looks like he's got some magical qualities to him.
Yeah, he does, and he looks like he is small, but he sort of doesn't stand small. He sort of stands.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing when you have a bit of that, the representative Ireland. Yeah, you might be small, but there's a vibe around you. This is my wife. My dog is 10 times bigger than me.
Yeah, but it's sort of.
And I wish I could put you in that TARDIS right now. Get into the TARDIS. Let me out. Let me out. And look, land in Poland. Open the door. Bye-bye. Put you in there. Would you like to go in there?
At least it's sort of safe.
Safe?
I don't know.
So, when are you guys going to London?
Very soon. Wait, did you guys know that there are Irish army posts in Lebanon that have been there for generations, and there are a bunch of Lebanese people that have opened up shops they call them the Dingy Men, I think, something like that.
The what?
The Dingy Men?
Yeah, but don't speak into the microphone.
I think it's the Dingy Men, I think, or something like that. But basically, they sell things from Ireland to the people that are out there, the Irish army, and they have Irish accents, the Lebanese people. It's the funniest thing ever.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, if anyone's watching this is interested in that, watch it.
And where are these places?
Different
army posts.
Yeah, different outposts.
It's generally in the south, isn't it?
I think, lots in the south.
Are they with the United Nations?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Peacekeepers.
Yeah, peacekeepers. And actually, there was one guy that was interviewed. He was Irish officer. He said a Lebanese man knew his dad before him, and he was saying, "Bring your son, next generation as well." So yeah, I guess.
Can you do an Irish accent?
How how are you? How are you? No, I can't. Even if I tried, I couldn't. It's hard.
Oh yeah, how are you?
How are you?
Listen to
Go on.
Oh, okay, yeah. How are you? How are you?
This is
No.
Your voice and your accent.
I sure will. Would you get it anyways?
And tell me, who do you prefer of all the Irish people? Do you have a particular, county that you like, Cork or Dublin?
I like the Athlone most. Is the Athlone and Donegal.
What's this,
people.
Daniel Jack?
the Lebanese guy.
He's a Lebanese guy.
Oh. Okay, but
How
nobody.
did you end up with them as opposed to Cork?
In C Cup.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Right. Yeah. So he learned his English through Irish people.
Yeah, it's just interesting.
Yeah, yeah,
a
it
lot
is,
of
yeah.
Lebanese people have Irish.
It's
twang.
beautiful. Thank you, Hannah, for joining us. Oh, well, you're us. Well, you don't join us. You're part of the team.
Well, I was not welcome for 3 last week.
That's not true. Jack, it's lovely to have you back. Will we be able to do one more one together, do you think?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, great.
The next
yeah.
couple of days.
Okay. And thank you so much, Uns. It's lovely to see you again.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
You're my favourite daughter-in-law.
Yeah, I think Uns was a star today.
Yes. Yeah, you were actually. You're very good.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, be nice in the comments, okay? Everyone be nice, please.
Daniel, thank you for producing the show. As always, rock solid.
Yeah, I would like everybody, please do comment, subscribe.
Well, either way, we're going to be doing the show anyway, so you can fuck off a lot of it. Sorry,
Yeah, but
no.
you could subscribe and comment and maybe donate if you can.
And what do you think about streaming? Guys, comment. What do you think about streaming?
Oh
the
yeah, good one.
podcast?
Yeah, streaming. We're going to get into Twitch. Okay.
That could
Thank
be
you, everybody.
Like,
Bye, guys.
like and subscribe.
Bye, guys.